What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Real Housewives of Miami season 4 finale. Yeah, season 4 finale. So season 4, episode 12. So we pick up where we left off. We are still at the bachelorette dinner at the Versace mansion for Alexia. I was call her a whole nother name. I've been doing really good with my names. I've got to get it together. Adriana and Larsa are still arguing, child. And basically, Larsa was like, "Look, girl, my stock went up and your stock went down, and you can't handle it." And she was like, see, you do think you better than us. She was like, no. I ain't say everybody. I said you. And so then she started making very personal attacks against Larsa, talking about how big her butt is and all the plastic surgery she's had, and that maybe she thinks she's better than she went and got a Kardashian butt. Girl, it was actually kind of funny, but it was mean at the same time. And the rest of the ladies were like, okay, now you're doing too much. Yeah, because everybody at that table done had plastic surgery, and I guess they was like, hold up, player, don't whoop, we in a glass house right now. Don't throw no stones, because we got big lips, nose jobs, boobs, butts, chin, cheeks, you name it, they got it at that table. So they were like, stop playing, you doing too much. So Larsa was like, you know what, I'm about to get up and I'm about to roll out, because I ain't come here for all that. This is Alexia's day, and I don't want to be the reason why there's a problem. Alexia was upset. She was like, girl, I thought we was going to sit here and talk about all the drug dealers we used to date in the 80s. And it was funny because I was like, you know what? Y'all were growing up in Miami in the 80s. I'm sure y'all got a drug dealer or two on y'all roster, okay? Now, she also let us know that her mom is actually not doing very well, and she's actually very worried about her mother. Her mother has been hospitalized. She's got the Roni. This is still during, COVID, and she's got the Roni. And she's really upset. And you know what I find interesting? I just realized that they were filming this during, child, we ain't seen no mask. We haven't seen a whole lot of universal precautions. But then I remember, child, they in Florida. Remember, Florida was acting like COVID wasn't happening. Florida, Texas, and Georgia. They was acting like wasn't nothing going on, child. They was still partying. They still had their kids in school. Or they was trying to get their kids back in school as fast as possible. Girl, I had to remember that. But anyway, so Larsa got up and left, and then Nicole had to leave because Nicole was like, look, I got to get up and go to work in the morning. I appreciate you. Now, Gertie had to leave early too, but she stayed till about 2 in the morning, and then she finally left. So after everybody left and they finished dinner, they have the party festivities. Let me tell you something. There is nothing more cringeworthy than watching a bunch of 40 and 50-year-old women try to do a 20, 30-year-old bachelorette party. I mean, they had a stripper that they end up embarrassing because they were like, this is corny, this is boring. And they were like, damn, like, he is standing right here. Like, that's me. Like, he's literally standing right here. Y'all can't be like, oh, this is boring. And the man is standing right here in y'all face. Then they looked like they were playing, games, party games, whatever. They had all the fake dicks everywhere. Then later on that night, they went outside and they had men out there and they took body shots off of the men. Like y'all tried. Y'all really tried, but it was so forced. It just was so forced. So the next morning, everybody is hungover. Everybody, makeup smeared, eyelashes everywhere, child. Larsa had called Adriana a drunk, so she's drinking Aquafina first thing in the morning, or Aquapana, or whatever, and she's like, yeah, I guess I'm just a drunk. I'm going to start my day off with this. I was like, girl, you drinking water in the morning to get over that hangover don't change, but the fact, Larsa said, every time I'm around you, you drunk, child. So, everybody gets ready for it's a caviar brunch, and everybody's getting dressed, and they look nice. Everybody looks beautiful. It's out by the pool. It is absolutely a gorgeous backdrop. The guy comes out, and he goes through the different types of caviar. And baby, who was that? Alexia. It's Alexia. She knew her caviar. She knew what caviar came from Bulgaria versus which came from Italy, child. Now listen, I have tasted caviar once or twice in my day. It is not for me. And I understand that if you're rich, you're just supposed to like caviar. Like, that's supposed to be what you do. You're supposed to love the caviar. I just don't. It's not my thing. I've had it. I've tried it more than once. Mwah. But I feel like people be pretending like they really like it because you're supposed to like it because that's what rich people do. Yeah. Anyway, Larsa ended up showing up, even though she went home the night before. She said, listen, this is my friend's bachelorette weekend, and I'm going to be there for her. I'm not going to let y'all keep me away from the party. And she immediately started addressing Julia and was like, listen, girl. And I feel like she went home and thought about this thing because she was ready, right? She was ready for it. She said, listen, you have not reached out to me. Like, you have not called me. You have not asked me to hang out. She said, I have come to your house. I have met your family. But you have not come to my house to meet my family. And she said, if you call me, I will answer. If you call me, she said, but I feel like this is coming from Adriana. Like, I don't feel like this is coming from you. I feel like you are picking a fight with me because of my beef with Adriana. And that's just how I feel about it. And she was like, no, no, no. I really feel this way. No, I really have a problem. And again, she finally did bring up the wedlock thing. But I feel like that's her biggest issue. But yet she's not addressing it. Adriana again jumps in. And again, they end up going back and forth, back and forth. And I just feel like they're saying the same thing over and over again. Adriana feels some kind of way. She feels like Larsa thinks she's better than her. Larsa was like, do I act like I feel like I'm better than y'all? And of course, everybody says no. And Adriana was like, well, you just, and she was like, girl, I don't know what's going on with you. But what you're not going to do is keep taking out how you feel about other stuff on me. Like, you're not going to keep taking it out on me. Like, I don't know what you got going on in your world and in your head. But stop trying to take this out on me. Eventually, Larsa shut it down and was like, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to keep here arguing with you. We are here for Alexia. And I'm not going to keep arguing with you over this. Like, girl, move. Get away. So, then we see where Alexia is having dinner with the family, with her blended family, her husband and his kids and her kids and his mom. And it's, it's like 2 or 3 days before the wedding, and they're kind of, they're kind of, I won't say it's the rehearsal dinner, but it's sort of like that, where the family came together, and she lets us know that her mother is not doing well. Like, her mother really is not, and she's very worried about her mom. She said, I'm trying to keep up a good face. I'm trying to be happy in this moment. I'm trying to live in the moment, but my mom is not doing well, and it's really bothering me, and of course, everybody's saying all the right things to her, and she's like, we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it, kind of thing. We see Martina and Julia, because this is the finale, so we wrapping stuff up. We see them talking about moving into their Miami Beach house, and Julia talking about she don't want to leave all her animals, child, because, she love her animals, and she don't want to leave all her animals, and Martina is like, but that's what we kind of got to do. Then we see Lisa and her husband, and he wants another kid. And it's funny because of what we know now as far as where their marriage is in real life. The fact that he was trying to get her to have a whole nother baby and go through in vitro. And she was like, but who gonna take care of the baby? Because you're not here now to take care of the kids we have. So who gonna do that? And he was like, well, I just like the idea of 3 kids. Okay, but do you like the idea of taking care of 3 kids? That's the question. We see Larsa signing her divorce papers. And again, I get it. Like, there's a finality to it. When you finally come to the realization that it's over, you have to understand that this is the finale of your marriage. That she said, my adult life, this is who I've been with my whole adult life. And so it's a lot for her, and she's trying to figure all of that out. And of course she's talking about moving, and all that good stuff. So I get it. Then we see Marisol. Now let me tell y'all something. Marisol is on that Kyle Richards moment. Have y'all peeped that? Kyle Richards does not let them film in her real house. She films in that guest house all the time, every time. You would think that that's Kyle's house, but that is not her main house. That is her guest house. And it's her guest house is still bigger than my regular house. You know what I'm saying? But it is not where she lives every day. Marisol does the same thing. Marisol has not filmed in her actual house. She has filmed in that, I guess it's like a pool house, this whole season. And I'm not mad about it. Like, I am not mad about you not letting people come into your home. Anyway, she gets a call from Nicole, and what we find out is that um Alexia's mom is in hospice. Now, what I learned about hospice with my grandmother, which I did not know until my grandmother went into hospice, is that basically that's it. Nobody, they're not coming out of hospice. Hospice is the end of the road. It's just about making them comfortable until the transition. Um, and please don't get in my comments talking about, well, my mama was in hospice and this happened and my cousin was in. I'm telling you what hospice is. Now, are there miracles? God is still in the healing business. I'm sure it happens. But the idea of hospice is that this is where it's a status. It's not even a place. Because my grandmother was at my aunt's house. But she was listed, it was hospice. She had a nurse, a nurse come into the house and give her medicine and stuff. And it was basically just to make her comfortable until the transition. Okay? Moving on. So we know that that's what's going to end up happening. What I like is that Marisol and Nicole was like, look, girl, we're going to put all that pettiness aside because we need to be there for our mutual friend. And they both agreed to do that. And Nicole was like, listen, let's have something at my house. Would you be open to having something at my house where we can let her know that we are here for her and we support her? And of course, Marisol was like, I'm down for that. She said, I appreciate that. And she said, I'm sorry that, I just got caught up in my own feelings, and they basically apologized to each other. And they actually ended up apologizing to each other again. And Marisol said, listen, I was just very guarded. Maybe I should have been more open to you, that, you weren't a bad person or you weren't trying to do me any harm, but I was just very guarded, and I could have handled things better. And Nicole was like, I could have too. And, thank you. I apologize. I appreciate it. So I'm glad that they were able to resolve their issue. And I think it was organic, because what I hate on these shows is that one minute I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Okay, let's be friends. And there was nothing to make it make sense. And here, it makes sense because there's a real transition here. Because at the end of the day, we have to realize that some shit is just more important. It's just more important. We see Gertie, who is, because they've had to postpone the wedding, because even, with her mom being in hospice, they postponed the wedding because the wedding was literally supposed to take place like 2 days before her mom went into hospice. Gertie was like, I'm trying to deal with the vendors. I'm trying to cancel as much stuff as I can, save as much money as I can. And then she ends up getting the text message from the group saying that her mother transitioned. Her mother is gone. So all the ladies end up coming together. So the thing at Nicole's house went from being we just want to let her know we're here to support her, to we're going to kind of memorialize and let her know that we supported her and send her prayers and all of that. So all the ladies show up. Everybody showed up in black except for Lisa and Julia. Now Julia showed up in all like a ivory color. Lisa showed up in a papa green. Now she just kept saying, "Oh my gosh, I should have worn black. I should have worn black. I should have worn black. Oh my gosh, nobody told me. I didn't get the memo." I mean, I know that a lot of times people are like, I don't want people to wear black at my funeral or whatever, but it's generally the accepted color scheme. Dark colors, black and white. Child, Lisa just be in her own world. Lisa be doing her own thing. So they all came together, at Nicole's house, and they, were talking about how much they, really want to be there, how bad they feel for Alexia, how she just can't catch a break, and it's just so much going on with her. They end up saying a prayer by the pool and doing the little lights and sending out wishes into the pool. It was very nice. It was a very nice moment. Everybody hugged it out. Larsa asked for an apology from Adriana, and she gave it. I don't ask for no apologies. Either you apologize or you don't. Either you feel bad or you didn't. I ain't asking for shit. But that's me. I'm different. Then we see the funeral. We see Alexandra. She did a very nice devotion to her mom on social media, and we don't actually go into the actual funeral, which I can respect that. Like, we didn't need to be there for that. But we saw all the ladies come together. Larsa didn't come to the funeral. Nicole couldn't get off work, so she wasn't there. But all the rest of the ladies were there for her, and Tom Todd has been like a rock for her. She said he's really been there for her through all of this. And she just really, really appreciated everybody's support and love throughout this process. It got me a little choked up because, I always talk to y'all about when real life meets reality TV. And this is real life. Like, the finale was supposed to be her wedding, and it ended up being her mom's funeral. Her mom was a very accomplished woman who lived her life by her own rules. She was a doctor at a time period where you didn't see a lot of women in that space. She said her mom, did her own thing. She was a cougar, honey, because she just didn't live by anybody else's rules. So I'm here for all of that. Then they fast forward 4 months later. They let us know that her son. They were like, she always got bad luck because they let us know her son was arrested for a domestic situation. But then we fast forward 4 months, and her and Todd ended up eloping at St. Bart's with just the two of them. And they said, we'll come back here and we'll have a party. But right now, we just need this time for ourselves. We just need to do this for ourselves and have this time for ourselves. And I 100% respect that. And so did their family. Everybody respected it. And that's just kind of where the season ended. I know we're already well into season 5, and I'm going to start dropping those as soon as possible. But I really needed to catch up because, child, I needed to know everything that happened before we get into season 5. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.